Hello, everyone. I hope that you're not too sick of hearing me from behind a computer screen, but this is Rachel Blackwell, and I just want to walk you through a few things with Schoology. We have been getting your form information with some issues teachers have been having. We've had our emails and we've checked everything. And so, in order to help teachers, overall, a big blanket to help the majority of you all, there is something that we are going to do to try to help you. So we're going to walk through this today together real fast. At any point in this video, if you need to pause it as a campus or as a teacher and do something or not, to talk about this and then start again, that's fine, because I'm going to throw a few things at you. You don't have to sit and watch this all. You need to finish it all, but also just if you need to stop and collaborate with each other, feel free to do that. So we're giving you time today to really work on your Schoology account. And I know there's some teachers at each school that have just really picked this up and run with it. And so we're going to use those teachers to try to help out as much as possible, to share their knowledge and be able just to support us in the school as well. So something I need to start out by talking about is that Schoology is not optional. By Tuesday, September 8th, every teacher needs to have their Schoology up and running. It doesn't have to be elaborate and huge, but you need to have your essentials in there, your class information, your meeting links, so that we are able to turn on the access code for parents so that they are able to also participate and look at things. So let's walk through some of the changes we're about to make and talk about these together. And hopefully this will be really great news for a lot of you all. So right now in Schoology, we sync every night with our users, so all the teachers and students, with courses and with our sections. So some of you have big courses that you really, really want to merge because you have a lot of kids on your roster. And then I know courses are separate for special ed students. It might be separate for different activity periods. So we want to find a way to get those courses merged. And then because sections can be merged, and we've talked about that a little bit, but we need something bigger. So that's probably like one of our biggest complaints right now. So soon we want to, or tonight I'm going to turn on manual. So the rosters and the courses and the sections will no longer be a nightly automatic sync. So let's talk about this right now. So we are going to pause our auto rostering for courses and sections only. Okay, courses and sections only. So we'll still pull in students and teachers manually into this daily to make sure that those students are in there, especially when you get new kids, because we know that students, we have a high mobility rate. And so we want to make sure and support teachers in that. But courses and sections will be able to have a little bit more flexibility for teachers to be able to set what they need. So first thing I need to stop right here and say is that anything that's in Schoology right now is going to stay in Schoology right now. So we're literally pushing a pause button, okay? So if you have, because believe me, I've been in there looking, some of y'all have some amazing Schoology classes right now. You don't have an issue with rostering. And so this really is not going to affect you in a big stance, but a lot of these teachers have multiple courses that they need merged and so on. We'll talk about all of that. All right, so let's talk about the pros and cons for this pausing. So some of the biggest things right now is that teachers can create their own courses, or if you already have one in there, like I said, it's beautiful, then you can leave it alone. But I do know that our SPED students and our co-taught classes are separate in a different course, and you can't merge those with the other students. So there is some confidentiality issues. And so when we do this, you'll be able to add those SPED students into your regular course, knowing they're still in a different eSchool gradebook, but you can merge them with them. And that way too, if you want to move or merge your virtual and in-person students together, that way when you have discussions, you'll be able to discuss with the whole group, everybody who's in your first period, everybody who's in your second period, versus right now I know those classes are smaller because they have them into different sections. And this will also help with some of the elective periods to be able to combine larger classes. Another great advantage of this is that teachers, once you delete courses you don't have to worry about them coming back with the nightly roster. So I know this is specific, or this is one specific example, is that K2 want to have one virtual classroom for their littles, and then they can delete all the extras so that parents and students have like one place or maybe two places that they would ever go for information. Well, they did that, and then they kept coming back at night because they're automatically in that roster folder. And so we will be able to delete those courses and keep them off. And so these two things kind of go hand in hand right here. So we're going to talk about the grading right now. So with grading, when we pause this course and section merging, the passback that we talked about is no longer accessible. So if you notice, the PD from last week has a big X on this section now. I took off that link because I want to make sure and explain to you that part is no longer going to be available. So in order to help with that issue, here's the pro about it. So after talking to Ms. Green and Mr. Haley in eSchool, they have said that since it's going to be turned off, all grades are going to be done in Schoology, and then at interim time, which is crazy coming up here in a couple weeks, and at semester or at the end of 9 weeks, those grades, the final grade, will only have to be transferred into eSchool. And we can talk about what that will look like at a later time. So keeping all grades in Schoology so parents will be able to see everything in that one platform. And this will also give us time, because there are several schools in the state of Arkansas who use Schoology. And the grade passback, the API feature that was turned on a week before school started, is only turned on for a handful of schools. And so all the other schools that are not doing this, they are doing it the way I'm presenting right now. We'll have time to be able to sit down with them and talk about, okay, what is the best way for it to look like in eSchool in order for it to roster into Schoology correctly. And so those will be some conversations we can set up and have with those different schools. All right. I know this is a lot, so if you need to think about this or talk it through, feel free to. But let me talk about some of our next steps and things that I know need to be done. So we are going to be creating admin accounts at the school level. Your principals, assistant principals, instructional coaches, counselors, and testing coordinators will have access to school level admins for each school. So that's something I'm working on setting up. We are not turning on parent codes until Tuesday, September 8th. And what that will look like is we'll turn those on and you'll have the parent codes. More information to come, because I haven't done it yet, so I can't speak 100% to this yet, but I'm going to give you this information, then we'll come back to it here later this week. So parent codes will be turned on. They will be distributed through your school, through your teachers. So elementary, give them your parent codes to your teachers. And secondary, that will probably be a great thing to give out through advisory. So for my son, whenever I get his code from his advisory teacher and I sign it up, I'll be able to see all 7 of his classes, not just the advisory period. So just to let you know. So the parent codes are something that only has to be given out once per student, and they'll be able to access all that. And then we'll also have some more information to come on that. This has been another huge issue, and there is an update in eSchool. We need to put the correct schools for several of the teachers. So we'll pull up this account. So up here, if it doesn't have the correct school right here, like Mr. Ben, he is not just at Robinson High. So that needs to be updated. That's something we're still looking at. So in a second, I'll show you where to put the information if your school needs to be updated so we can get that done. And lastly, I know that PD specific, we need some PD specifically for these groups or for these topics. So K2 teachers, we're going to have something on Thursday from 3 to 4. I'll send out that information. If you can't be there, that is tomorrow, yes, or Thursday the 3rd. But if you can't be there, we'll record it and send it out. So that's just something I know that a lot of people have said I need some specifics. Speech and OT, we're going to have you something set up next week, and I've asked for specific videos for like assignments and assessments. So I'm reading your emails. I'm trying to get through them all and trying to find out the best way to help support all the teachers. So these are some next steps that we have coming up. So like I said, let's look at Mr. Light's classes one more time. So when I go to his courses, he has a lot of courses. Mostly, this is a band teacher, so again, not everybody's looks like this, but he has this. So 7th period, he has several different sections that are 7th period, or he has several, like 1, 2, these are all, there's another first period, there's another first period. So this is one that would really benefit from this. So he can pick the class that has the most students in it, or if he wants to start from scratch, just make a first period band, he can do that. And then he will be able to go in to the class. Oops, apologize for that. So I'm going to jump in here. So he'll be able to go into the class and either give the school or the access code out to students, kind of like you would in Google Classroom. So you can give out the access code and have the students in first period join it. Or depending, I know he's a lot of students, so he can even hit add members and start typing in those students' names. Until we get the school correct, the access code is probably going to be your best bet to use there if your school name is not correct. So we'll get to those as soon as we can. But that is going to really help a lot of you who have like multiple sections that you can't combine. So I have changed up the form just a little bit. This Schoology updates. Apologize for that. So you'll still fill out your name, your school, all the information, but if there is an issue with your school name at the top, then I want you to click this, and then it's going to ask you for your main campus, and then if there's any sub-campuses that you need to be associated with, also include those. But if there's if there's something besides that that's not fixed with this, then you can put that under other Schoology updates that need, I should say update. I'll fix that here in a minute. All right. And you can find this form. It's been a little while since you've had it, so I'm going to put it here. Nope. It's bit.ly/SGY, Schoology, SGY 2020. So bit.ly/SGY 2020. So that's Schoology's acronym, SGY. So if you fill out that form, take a picture of this. We'll also include it in the email that I send out to people. So this will be an important form for any updates that need fixing past this update that we're about to do. So I think that this will fix a lot of students, a lot of teachers, I meant. bit.ly/SGY 2020. Again, I know last week you had a lot of information thrown at you from the slideshow that I sent. So this is last week's PD, connecting to your Google Drive. It's still important, linking sections, which is really, I could probably put an X over that now because we don't worry about linking sections because that will be fixed with this. Adding a conference link if you need to, Google Drive, and adding grades outside of Schoology. So still, if you have an assignment that is not in Schoology, like a Google form, something in Think Central, something that's not in Schoology, this will still be important, okay? Because that way they can do something outside of it, and then you can still put a grade in Schoology to help you with your grades. The only thing in grade passback that will need to be, or that will still need to be done is when you're in a course, and I will send this information to your group here as well, is that it'll still have to go into your gradebook setup and set up categories here. So that'll be something that still has to be done, even though those categories don't have to match what's in TAC now. So I will redo this video a little bit so it makes it more user-friendly. I know this is a lot of information. I hope that you know that I am here 100% to support you and to help you make this a successful year. Again, if you have any issues, please, with Schoology, please put them into that bit.ly. If there's something outside of Schoology, you can go into your portal, IT help. If there's something that is an issue in your classroom with technology, that is a way that you can to put in IT help requests. And those are very, very important for you to put in because unless you tell us there's something, we're not going to be able to fix it for you. So please go in and fill that out if needed. So thank you so much to all the admins, all the instructional coaches out there, the teacher librarians, shout out to you and all the Chromebook distribution and password resets. And thank you to the counselors. I know y'all have been working hard on schedules, so thank you to everybody. And of course, I cannot say enough about you teachers in there every day doing all the work. So we are here to support you. I hope that this pause makes it easier for you so that you can go in and really customize your courses to what you need. And then we are going to have a very successful year. So this will not be the last you hear from me, so don't think that you get away that easy. So I'll be back to give you more information as needed. So thanks, have a great meeting, and get to work.